Hi guys, this is Elliott from the Punk People here, and today I'm here with ARAYA from SLAYER, and let's do this.
What's up, punk little dude?
Yeah! SLAYER!
You gotta be loud now, you gotta SLAYER!
SLAYER!
There you go.
If you're granted a wish to rid the world of one thing, what would it be?
Rid the world of one thing. Oh man. There are so many things we can get rid of. Like people. You know, and then I could be, me and my wife and my kids would be the only ones left. And then we could just take care of all the animals.
Amazing answer. What would you do if God came to thank you in your dreams for playing in one of his favorite bands?
Wow. I'd be like, you mean you really listen to the band? That's amazing. If we were a favorite band at God's, is that what you just said?
Well, like, if he thanks you for playing in one of his favorite bands.
Wow. Then I was right. I was following his path. I'm serious. I'm being serious, because it's like you do things because there's a reason for everything, and I think that me being in this band and doing what I do, there's a reason for it, and I think that he has the reason, and I'll find out when I'm gone. I'll find out the truth behind what I was supposed. If this is what I was supposed to do. Because I have there's experiences. I'll experience deja vus, and it used to happen. Well, it used to happen a lot when I find myself thinking, God, this is wow. I remember this. Just crazy deja vu experiences, and I read somewhere that's life telling you that you're on the right path. So then because I always left it in his hands. Since I was little, I always told myself that, whatever you present to me, then that's the road I'll follow. And I hope I've been doing it. I hope I've been following the right road. In the end, he'll just go like, "Smack, dude, what are you doing, man? You went the wrong road."
What do you like most about your fans?
My fans?
Yeah.
Oh, they're crazy. Yeah, they're completely nuts. I'm not a cheerleader. When we go out and we play, we just play. We let the music do the talking. And I don't encourage anything other than people to have fun. However it is they have fun, I'm okay with that. And sometimes they get a little crazy. But that I'm okay with that, because as long as they're okay with it, as long as they understand and know what it is they're doing, I'm okay with that, because we're all responsible for ourselves. You can't be pointing the finger at people all the time because of something you feel is wrong. Maybe it's you. The first place you should always look is at yourself. So I'm okay with them doing what they do, because then they can't blame me. Because I never once said, do this, do that, because that might get me in trouble.
That's why you can't change anyone's path, right?
Right, exactly. That's why you can't change anyone's path. That's right.
What is your vision of what hell looks like?
I wrote a song about it. Goes something like this. You ever see that skit? No. No, I wrote yeah, that show with that in living color. Yes. Of course. The song that I wrote about my envision of hell was South of Heaven. It's total chaos. I had to envision what I pictured hell would be like in order to write that song. So that's a starter right there. You read the words and the lyrics to that song, and that's pretty much how I envision hell.
Nice. Could the Slayer Repentless comic book ever expand to a new series or a movie?
I don't know. That's something that the minute they approached us with the idea of doing a video, and then possibly doing a trilogy video, because that was a while ago. That was decided a while ago as far as that goes. I was like, oh, that's so cool. And my first response to them when they did the idea of the 3 videos to the nuclear blast people was, maybe we can make, in the end, make it a movie, based a movie on the comic strip, but it'll have some variances to it, but that was something that I thought would be really cool to do a long time ago. So I don't know. I know that we're going to be doing stuff at the Forum in LA when we did a show in LA. They're going to be doing stuff there, but I'm going to keep that a surprise.
Mm-hmm. I think the whole story and the music videos are so interesting. Like the very end, it's just almost like a cliffhanger. I want to know what he does next.
That's why I'm hoping that they can do it. They can bring it together. I think it would be really cool if they did that. Yeah.
Do you think humanity will ever get to the point where people will stop treating each other so badly?
Oh, I hate to bring this down on you, but honestly, I don't think so. I think we're in a spiral. I'm gonna get heady on you guys, but I honestly believe that you need to take care of your parents, just like my kids need to take care of me, because outside of that little circle, it's getting really bad, and you have to find like-minded people that can share that love with you. Otherwise, I don't see it getting any better. I see people being more violent, and I see people being malicious about their violence, but I don't see it getting any better. I think it's just gonna get worse. Just like all the stuff that's going on. You got rains, you got earthquakes, you got eruptions, volcanic eruption. All that stuff is just gonna keep getting worse and worse. And then a big rock's gonna come out of the sky and just put an end to all of it was. I hate to bring you guys down on that. Maybe you can just cut that section out, save it for later.
Do you believe that ghosts or angels exist?
Yeah. I think they're kind of the same thing. Some ghosts are angels, but yeah, I believe that there are angels angels that watch over us, and then there are spirit guides, which are the ghosts, that also look over us and help us and nudge us when we're going in the wrong direction. Yeah.
Have you ever seen one?
Have I ever seen one? No. I think I'd freak if I did. But no, I've never seen one.
Do you know when you're gonna start recording your next album?
I don't know. You know, when I started doing this, I always wanted to be in a band and play music. And then I ended up hooking up with 4 guys that were like-minded, just like me, and we clicked. And then we just started playing and jamming. And then we started writing our own stuff and jamming. Next thing you know, someone says, hey, I want to do a song. I want to do a record. And we just kept doing that. 35 years later, I find myself in a place where I never thought I'd ever be. Never really once thought about ever being where I am. And it's a business. You know, and it was something that I really enjoyed doing because I loved it. And it slowly somehow turned into a business. You know, it wasn't about making music, it was the business of making music. So what I'm leading into is that we had Jeff, who passed away a few years back. We never really had never had our business matters taken care of as far as the band, the membership and the band and all that stuff. So that's something that me and Carrie are at the moment in the middle of getting all that squared away. So as far as the next record, apparently, you know, we did record a bunch of songs, and we finished the songs for this album, and there was like another 6 or 7 songs. We'll see.
I'm so sorry for the loss of your bandmate Jeff Hanneman. Do you think about him when you're on stage playing?
Yeah, because I look over and, you know, and I see Gary playing, but yeah, I think about it, especially when we do songs that me and him co-wrote. Me and him were collaborators. We wrote a lot of songs together. It was me and Jeff. So there's a lot of songs that we play where it's like, you know, and then this new album it was kind of a collaboration between me and Carrie, but not. That's a clue. That's a clue right there. I just gave you a big clue. But yeah, I think about him a lot. Yeah, especially when we do, because we always end our set with Angel of Death, and that's more a tribute to him. You know, so yeah, I think about him. Yeah, you just wonder. You always think back about how you wish you could have or should have done things different that went on towards the latter period of his life. And I think that I always, you know, in hindsight, you always want to do, you think you should have done more. And that's how I feel. I feel like we could have, or I should have done more to help him. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the comparison questions. Would you rather be a werewolf or a vampire?
Oh. I think a vampire.
Being able to teleport or invisibility?
That's a good one. Teleport, because then I can go from stage to my house. I don't have to take a plane. I don't have to deal with people.
Playing bass or singing?
I had to do both. I hide behind the bass. It has my gut.
Politicians or puppies?
Politician or a puppy? Wow. I'd have to pick puppy. I wouldn't want to be a politician.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, let's add the money in my pocket. No. I do. What I think was really cool is you got some amazing parents here.
I really do.
You do. They sit there and they do this with you and give you an opportunity to meet people, you know, and allow you to think about what it is you really, really want to do. And this is a good start. I think it's really cool that you have parents that'll let you do this and they'll be a part of your life. I think that's the most important thing, is that they're a part of what you do, and you're allowing them. Most kids don't want their parents hanging around because their parents aren't cool. So you got some really cool parents here, and I think that's really, really cool.
Thank you so much.
Dude, pleasure meeting you, little punk
Pleasure
dude.
meeting you too.